Welcome back in, Mark and Brown Radio program. We're honored to have this guy in here, Bruce Campbell. This guy is got to be the king of cult movies.
Actually, I think he holds the record for being in more movies with the word "dead" in the title than any other of our American actors.
You know, you started out with the Army of Darkness.
Great movie.
That was the first in that series. Is that correct?
We did 3. The first couple were Evil Dead 1 and 2. And then Army of Darkness is technically Evil Dead 3, but Universal didn't want to call it Evil Dead 3.
Now,
because they don't want to be affiliated with horror films.
Does Army of Darkness have a bigger following than Evil Dead 1 and 2? Or?
It's weird. They're split into camps. The real gorehounds who want carnage, mayhem, unrated gore go for Evil Dead. Because there's pencils and ankles, there's heads lopped off with shovels, the usual.
Right, the usual, fair.
Evil Dead 2 is a hybrid. It's horror comedy, so we call that splatstick. It's for people who can look through their fingers and laugh. It elicits very strange reactions from people. And Army of Darkness is for those people who like skeletons who talk. And it's more like an adventure story. So the real gorehounds think that we sold out with Army of Darkness. And so if you don't like gore, I tell them to start with Army of Darkness and go backwards until you can't handle it anymore and turn it off. So we get all kinds.
Now, Bruce, you're a novelist. I mean, that's what you're going to talk about is this new novel, Make Love, the Bruce Campbell Way. And before we get into the synopsis of this, know this. His last book, If Chins Could Kill, became the bestseller, and his 55-city tour, Chins Across America, receives standing room only crowds at every book signing. So you're quite the popular guy.
Well, you give people weird stuff and they come out for it. You know what I think it is? There's sort of the pop culture and then there's everybody else.
Yeah.
And I think that some people don't want movies that you can see on an airplane.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I specialize in, movies that you would never see anywhere normally.
Which brings us to another one. We were talking about the cult following that you have with Army of Darkness and Evil Dead 1 and 2.
Sure.
Then you decided to star in probably one of the strangest movies I've ever seen. And we get calls about this constantly. You decided to star as Elvis Presley in Bubba Hotep.
Right.
Did the success of that thing surprise you?
We were just glad. You know, this was a movie that wasn't released. It escaped. You know, this was financed by the filmmaker himself. You know, who's going to want to distribute a movie about an aging Elvis with cancer on his penis? I don't know. Not too many people. But what we
not going to see that on an airplane.
No, you won't. And so we found that it hit a chord with people who like geriatric Elvis mummy pictures.
Wow. And there's plenty of them out there, apparently.
Yeah, but we lead the pack, I guess.
I guess.
But, you know, everyone's wanted to play Elvis. I think every American male can relate to, at some point, singing Elvis in the shower or somewhere, even though they'd never admit it. Right. So that's what attracted me. And I also like the fact that he's not the regular Elvis, so they're not going to compare me to Kurt Russell or some of these guys who really did a good Elvis.
Yeah. Right.
You know, my excuse was, well, how do you know what he would be like at 68 years old?
There you go. There's no pressure.
He might have been exactly like I did it.
You don't know.
That's right. So there's no hassle.
Tell us about the book, Making Love, the Bruce Campbell Way.
It's a strange situation. I'm embarrassed to say that it started out as nonfiction. It was going to be sort of a joke book about relationships, especially the fact that I know nothing about them. I just asked my wife. So it sort of morphed into nonfiction during the course of trying to figure out what this book is going to be. Publishers don't want the apple to fall very far from the tree for a second book because they went, well, we don't know who you are, but your book made money, so we don't know what to do with you. So write a book that's like the first book but isn't. So that's what happened. And if people don't like it, there's lots of pictures in it.
There are.
Well, and what I did is that, you know, as you guys both may have discovered over your various years on the air, that Hollywood's full of freaks.
A few of them, yeah.
Yeah, a few. And so I decided to take some of those characters and change the name slightly to protect the guilty and write a book. So really, most of the characters in the book do exist. Some do, because The book is a fictitious story of me finally getting into an A movie. After all this time of struggling in the land of B, Mike Nichols gives me my shot in a romantic comedy called Let's Make Love, starring Renee Zellweger and Richard Gere. So I get the third lead as a wisecracking doorman. So now I realize I have to go method. If I'm in a Mike Nichols film, I'm going to get kicked upside one and down the other if I don't prepare as a real actor, not a fake B-movie chainsaw-wielding, blood-soaked actor, as an actor's actor.
Right.
So I go on a dumb journey to try and figure out how to become a good actor in an A movie, and it all goes to hell in a handcart, as it would.
You've written novels before. How long did this one take you?
This one took about 3 years.
3 years.
They're weird because it's so many words you have to get out, and then after you write the first draft, you look at it and you go, well, that was fun. Can't use any of that.
Wow.
So there's a lot of back to the drawing board, and the first one was a autobiography, so I could look at a diary and know where I was at a certain year. I didn't have to make it up.
Right.
I had to make up all of this, so it was much more difficult.
How much is an editor involved with you in the writing process?
Depends on the book. If it's your autobiography, they usually come in and go, we don't care about your dog Biffy. Okay, let's not talk about your dog Biffy.
Okay.
Not necessary.
Right.
Here, it's much more of a story. They get involved and talk about the progression of the story, keeping it on track, the usual. Some editors are mean. Mine was pretty good.
Yeah.
I want to go back to a quote you made on the first break of this show, and I loved it, and I don't think anybody really heard it, but you said, you put weird stuff out there and people show up. Love that, and that really kind of sums up your career. You have made a living and continue to make a living, while thousands and thousands of actors and writers, they can't make a living. They've had to quit and do something else. You are making a living doing weird stuff.
Well, I think it's just there are folks out there who don't accept the cookie cutter entertainment that we're kind of getting now. Because what we're really getting now, you look at the films out this summer, we have sequels, remakes, updates, adaptations from TV shows, from kids shows. It's my worst nightmare come true because every crappy TV show that I hated in the 70s is now a major feature film 30 years later. It's driving me crazy. So I think Hollywood is going through a bit of a creatively bankrupt period. And I think people get tired of that. They get tired of going to multiplexes. So sometimes they want to go to the funky alternative theaters, these old monoliths that they've revamped. And so it's been fun to go and support those theaters. I worked with Tim Curry once, who was in obviously one of the great, cult films of all time, Rocky Horror Picture Show. He got letters from theaters thanking him for that one movie keeping their theater alive, because they knew that twice a week they'd get a packed house, and it kept them alive.
Well, with that in mind, for those of you that want, tonight at 10, Bruce is going to be at the Crest Theater, where he is going to be having a special screening of his latest film, Man with the Screaming Brain.
It's a tender love story.
Make you laugh, make you cry.
Make you wonder why.
All right, let's go to Jerry. We'll start. We have a lot of calls for you, Bruce.
All right.
Let's go to Jerry. You're on the air with Bruce Campbell.
Hey, what's up, Bruce?
Hey, Jerry, how are you, buddy?
What's up, Mark and Brian? I'm doing great. I just want to say I'm a huge fan of you.
You're a fine man.
Evil Dead 1, when I first seen it, scared the heck out of me as a kid. Evil Dead 2 scared the heck out of me, made me laugh. And Army of Darkness has got to be my favorite movie of all time. And I was just thinking, is there going to be a fourth part?
Well, the guy who wrote and directed those, Sam Raimi, got involved in a little series called Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So until he's finished having the truck full of gold bullion backing up and dumping it into his front yard, he's a little busy for a while. So I think he might come back later and we might do one.
Army of Darkness does have the distinction of, at the time, if you can watch the movie now and think back then when they made the movie, it was really a little bit of like Pirates of the Caribbean, in that you guys animated skeletons that nobody had ever really done that before.
The guy who did it probably the best before was Ray Harryhausen, who did like Jason and the Argonauts. And I know Sam Raimi was a big fan of that. So what Sam likes to do is mix it up. We'd have puppets in the foreground. We'd have other shots with animated miniatures. But it was cool, I think, because people think skeletons are creepy, and skeletons attacking a castle is kind of fun, but it's a pain in the butt to shoot. So we had trouble because the first two Evil Dead movies were unrated. And we had to deliver an R-rated movie to Universal, but the ratings board, when they found out that we were submitting a movie that was part 3 of the Evil Dead movies, they gave us an NC-17. And now this is a movie where you chop a skeleton's head off and dust comes out. You have talking skeletons. This is like a little worse than Pirates of the Caribbean, but the ratings board kind of has it out for us. Yet a movie like Goodfellas, you can, in the opening 5 minutes, you can have a gangster stabbing a guy who's bound and gagged against his will, swearing at him while he's stabbing him in a trunk. So that's torture, right? That's an R-rated movie because A, it's Martin Scorsese, B, it's, you know, what, based on real events. Get out of here. So I think as a B movie filmmaker, I'm incensed by stuff like that because to me that it's a bogus system. Either judge everybody based on the same criteria, or don't judge anybody and let the audience decide. I'm a fan of just telling people what's coming. You got to warn people, I feel, as a filmmaker. This film is unrated. Take your chances, folks. You know, but I just think I get frustrated by that.
You got a little bit of Roger Corman in you, don't you?
I guess. My sensibilities are just different.
Let's go to Emily on line 5. Emily, you're on the air.
Oh, my God. Mark and Brian.
Yo.
Love you guys.
Thank you.
Bruce Campbell, I love you more.
You're beautiful, baby.
Me and my husband fell in love with Army of Darkness when we started dating back in 91.
I see.
And then we had to see, you know, The Evil Dead. So we did the backwards thing.
Oh, good. That's probably a good way to go.
Yeah, and then we actually became fans of Sam Raimi, and that's how we kept seeing you. We saw you in Darkman, and hey, there's that Bruce Campbell guy.
Yeah, there's that guy, yeah.
Yeah, and we followed you, and we just finished reading your book.
What,
the last one, the Chins book.
Oh, the Chins book. We got a new one now.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna see you in
Yeah, you got some
Sacramento
catching up to do. Oh, you're going to Sacramento? Good.
But I also hear you're having a screening of The Man with the Screaming Brain.
That's right. Tonight at the Crest Theater at 10 p.m.
Yeah, well, it's going to be in Sacramento on Saturday, and we have 2 wonderful children who loved Army of Darkness, Elvis, who's 9, and Roman Gabriel, who's 4.
Yes, of course. I remember him well.
Would that be appropriate for them?
Well, if you took them to Army of Darkness, which was rated R, Man with the Screaming Brain is probably PG-13.
Oh, okay.
So you're going to be fine. It's for the Sci-Fi Channel, technically. So they won't allow anything. Sci-Fi Channel loves carnage, mayhem, death, and violence, but there's no sex or swearing. So yeah, you can bring them. You can bring them.
Now, what is Man with the Screaming Brain? What is that?
Man with the Screaming Brain is a tender love story about an American capitalist, a big fancy pharmaceutical magnate who goes to Bulgaria to exploit the former, Soviet bloc country and invest in their infrastructure. Through a series of strange events, he winds up getting half the brain of a former KGB operative. And so the communists and the capitalists have to put their differences aside and find the gypsy woman that killed them both.
The gypsy woman that killed him.
Yes.
Dealing with the strange incidents of, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Man
with the
Screaming Brain.
Ah, sounds good.
All right, Bruce Campbell is our guest. If you have questions, there's a lot of people on the phone, so we'll try to get as many of you as we can. The telephone number here is 1-800-955-5567. We'll return with Bruce right after this. It's the Mark and Brian Radio program, 95.5 KLOS.
Welcome back to the Mark and Brian Radio program. Our guest, Bruce Campbell. Bruce has a new book, best-selling author, this guy, as well as being now, do you like being called the king of B movies?
I'm okay with that.
Okay, as well as being the king of B movies, a best-selling author. His new book is called Make Love the Bruce Campbell Way. It's a novel, very funny. Let's see how your memory is. We're going to go back to your filmography here. I'm going to give you the name of the movie or project, and you give me the character you played.
Oh, boy.
Oedipus Rex, 1975.
I was Oedipus.
No.
Oh, come on, King Creon.
That's it.
Thank you.
All right.
I brought my own toga.
Okay. You had to.
That was a film we did in 8th grade. That was 8mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's Murder, 1977.
I played various roles, including a security guard.
A police officer on bicycle.
Yeah, on a bicycle.
Is what I said here. Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot the bicycle part.
Now, this one could be tough.
That was directed by Sam Raimi, by the way, back in 1977.
Is it good?
No,
right.
It sucks, but it's pretty funny.
All right. In 1978, this could be a tough one for you.
Yeah.
The project was called Within the Woods.
Yes, that was the precursor to Evil Dead. We used this Super 8 movie to raise money for Evil Dead. I played the bad guy.
Named?
I forget who I played. I have no idea.
You know who you played? Bruce.
Bruce. I played Bruce.
You were Bruce.
That's why I forgot the name.
Yeah. You were named Bruce. Going Back?
Going Back, which I call Going Nowhere. I played a guy called Bryce Chapman.
Yes, you did.
Thank you.
All right, and finally, Maniac Cop, 1988.
Jack Forrest.
Yeah, you're getting
Now, we want to let you know there's a lot of ways you can get to know Bruce. There's a lot happening in Bruce's life. First of all, the book he's in here to talk about today, Make Love the Bruce Campbell Way, that's in stores. Tonight, at 6 p.m. at Borders in L.A. on Westwood Boulevard, there is a signing. Bruce will be there signing copies of his book. Tomorrow night at 6 p.m. at Dark Delicacies in Burbank, on Burbank Boulevard, he'll be doing a book signing. And if you want to see his latest film, Man with the Screaming Brain...
I'm intrigued.
I like how you say that, too.
It's just got to be said that way. There's no other way to say it.
No, there isn't.
There is a special screening tonight at 10 at the Crest Theater, and Bruce will be there.
I would call ahead, by the by.
Is it going to be a
well, it might, to make sure you get your little tickets.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Joni, you're on the air with Bruce Campbell.
I can't believe it. I'm so stoked. I've got 3 handsome men. Bunches of... Oh, I'm so stoked. Bruce.
Yes, ma'am.
Comet. How is Comet?
Oh, the horse Comet from The Adventures of Briscoe County Jr. I'm hoping he's avoided the glue factory so far.
Oh.
We did have to put down one of the horses. We put down one of the horses, the rearing horse Ace.
Yes. Okay.
So Ace is gone. I think Comet is okay. But Comet, was a pain in the butt, if I can be honest with you.
Go ahead.
Comet was a trick horse.
Yes.
And a trick horse stands there all day long and goes, "When's my trick? When's my trick? When's my trick?" So if you're trying to sit on the horse or ride the horse goes, "No, get off me. I'm doing my trick. When do I do my trick?" So I could never ride that horse. We had to go with a horse that was 14 years old. His name was Copper. I called him Leadbelly because he never moved ever. I'd have to get real spurs to get him to move out of the shot. So we had dialogue horses, rearing horses, trick horses. We had 4 horses for the one horse.
We're going to rattle your memory a little bit. We, one morning, this was 10 years ago, whatever it was, we were on the air, my partner and I, and we were sitting there saying, we would love to be in a Western. We would love to ride up on a horse, get off, walk in the saloon, and order whiskey. That would be perfect. And we were just kind of, we really did want to do it. The producer of The Adventures of Briscoe County Jr. called us, and he goes, "Guys, I can do this for you."
I can make it happen, he said.
And he did. Yeah. And so we came down to the set of Briscoe County. They put us in cowboy outfit.
Got our own horse.
We did get and we got to, as we had said on the air, we pulled up, tied our horse up to the pole, walked in, and ordered whiskey.
Now, guys, can I bring a little bit of light to that story?
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't want to bring it up because I've been uncomfortable with this for years.
Okay.
But, you guys were in a later episode. The show had been on. It was only one season, and this was probably episode 19 or 20. We got the plug pulled on us about a week after you guys were on the show. So I don't want to say anything. I don't want to point any fingers. But maybe the way you hitched up your horse, maybe the way you knocked back that whiskey, they just felt that it wasn't authentic. I don't know what it was.
And you've carried this for all these years.
I've had some inner pain all these years, for the last 11 years.
And this is why this is your first visit on the show. You finally let that go.
I'm letting it go right now.
Okay, good.
Now, that must have been a fun show to do.
It was okay. It was hard, but we were happy with the work that we were doing because everyone was trying really hard, and it was a weirdo show. It was not a Western, and it was not science fiction, which is probably why it's on a shelf right now, gathering dust. But there were 7 people who loved that show.
Now, is there going to be a DVD? Because there was one season you could pack that on a 3 DVD set.
There should be, because it aired forever on TNT. I had a neighbor who said, "Bruce, I'm sorry, but I gotta stop watching your show, Briscoe." I went, "Well, Billy, I thought you liked the show." "Yeah, I do, but I've seen all 26 episodes 26 times." So they should put it out for those people who really like it. But the company, they have to wake up and think about that. Old TV shows age like fish, so.
Derek, you're on the air with Bruce Campbell. Go ahead, Derek.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
And, Bruce, a pleasure to speak with you.
Yes, sir. Hello, Derek.
I have a question. You were an integral part of the Xena sagas. Any word or any ideas of maybe them coming back for any type of reunion? And have you kept in touch with any of your co-stars?
I just worked with Renee O'Connor, who was Lucy Lawless's sidekick. I just worked with her on a stellar film called Alien Apocalypse for the Sci-Fi Channel. I run into Lucy Lawless all the time. Kevin Sorbo got busy on another show. But yeah, I run into those jokers all the time. As far as the chances of a revival, I don't know. It honestly depends on how well the DVDs of the various seasons sell. You know, a lot of creative decisions are made based on economics.
Bruce, can we have you for one more break so we can try to clear out some of these phone calls?
Indubitably.
Okay, stay where you are. Again, if you do have a question for Bruce, we'll do our best to get you in. 1-800-955-5567. Bruce Campbell is on the Mark and Brian radio program, 95.5 KLOS. Welcome back in. Mark and Brian radio program. Bruce Campbell is with us. There are, again, several things. First of all, the new book, Make Love the Bruce Campbell Way, in stores now. There is a signing tonight, 6 p.m., Borders in L.A. That's on Westwood Boulevard. Expect a line. Then tomorrow night, 6 p.m., at Dark Delicacies in Burbank on Burbank Boulevard. Tonight at 10 at the Crest Theater. Call ahead to make sure there's tickets available. But there'll be a screening with Bruce there of Man with the Screaming Brain.
I still love how you say it. Man, you need an echo, though, in your voice. Man with the screaming brain. That was fast. You guys are good.
Amazing. Nathan, you're on the air. Good morning.
Hey, Mark and Brian.
Hey, Nathan.
Hello there. Good morning.
Hey, I was wondering, are you ever going to go back to TV and do another TV show? Because I was a huge fan of Briscoe and of Jack of All Trades.
I appreciate that. I'm a huge fan of being married, however. TV shows are great for your pocketbook, but pretty bad for your personal life. I like the modular life now.
Now, you were doing, what, 5 days for sure, 12-hour shoots?
Yeah, it was pretty ugly. You know, you'd work at least 12 hours a day, and then by Friday night, you wouldn't get done really till about 3 in the morning. And then to promote it, as you guys know, you have to sell things. So the limo would come at 6 a.m. Saturday morning, be gone that weekend, come back Sunday night, shooting Monday morning. So, and what, give up show business?
Yeah.
So actually, you should be thanking us because we're responsible for the show being canceled. So
yeah, I do. Thanks, fellas.
You're welcome.
And that's what I came here to say. Thank you.
There you go.
Let's go to John. Good morning, John. You're on the air with Bruce Campbell.
Morning, guys. How you doing? Long-time listener.
Thank you.
Hello, John.
Hey, Bruce. Hey, I remember one of the first times I ever saw you was in Evil Dead. Greatest classic line, "Swallow your soul." It made me laugh, even though it was a horror movie. My main question is, about 12 years ago, I saw a sneak preview in the theater in Hollywood that you were in. Whatever happened to good old Ned Blessing?
Ned Blessing, meaning what? What are you getting at?
I believe you played a character in a Western, a sneak preview.
I think you're on drugs. I don't know. Ned Blessing. You're not ringing a bell.
I'm loving the response to a listener. First time on the show. What are you getting at?
Where are you going with this?
Yeah. Love the thing you did with this book, the new one, Make Love the Bruce Campbell Way. A lot of times, people are fans now, especially with the long commutes in L.A., they'll buy books on tape.
Yeah.
And they'll listen to the book being read aloud to them.
Yeah.
You took it a step further. You actually acted out the book.
Yeah, because we all know the audiobook of he said this, she said this. So it's one, or you get an actor to read your book, something like that. I thought, well, it wouldn't be right unless we just did it. So we did it like a radio play. I got a bunch of actors together in Southern Oregon where I live, and we recorded this 6-hour epic with guns and car crashes and whatever happens in the book. We went, oh no, now we have to put a sound to it. So hopefully when it's done, it'll be out this summer through Ryko Entertainment. If you sit there and listen to it, close your eyes, it'll be like a movie without the picture. And why you'd want to listen to it, I don't really know. But
again, it goes back to your original quote. You put weird stuff out there, people show up.
Yeah.
And if you're going to listen to this book on tape in your car, don't close your eyes.
Let's go to John. Good morning, John. You're on the air with Bruce Campbell.
Good morning, guys.
Hey.
Hey, Bruce, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
I'm coming to Dark Delicacies. I can't wait to meet you.
Yeah, Dark Delicacies is a cool little place, huh? It's an alternative bookstore.
They do the signings the right way. It's great.
Yeah, I've got a tied record there with Clive Barker.
Oh, you're going to beat it this time.
Good, as long as you're there.
Question for you.
Yeah.
One of the best roles you ever did, you were just amazing in Bubba Hotep. I mean, it was just fantastic. Could you talk about that a little bit?
That was not me. That was another Bruce Campbell. No.
What are you getting at?
Yeah. What are you getting at? What's your point? I appreciate that. It was something that was, I can't say it was fun to do with about 2.5 hours of makeup every day, but it's fun to play a character that everybody knows, but to play a different side of that character. I mean, in the back of my head, I really was wondering when we were making this movie, what if Elvis's daughter was actually watching this movie? So I tried to treat him with the respect that family would at least deserve.
Well, again, I love that movie way more than I should have, especially when you deal with a 70-year-old Elvis, a 70-year-old JFK, who's black, by the way, chasing after a mummy. Who knew?
It could happen.
It could happen, and
it could happen.
It just,
I don't know what to think about.
There's no rhyme or reason.
Now, there's an
for
interesting commentary track on Bubba Hotep.
Yeah?
We made a special arrangement with a certain king of rock and roll to come in from an undisclosed location and watch the movie and comment on it.
Ah, what do you think?
He wasn't that impressed.
No?
He thought there was too much swearing. You know, I never would have said that to that woman like that. I never would have been that. This guy's overacting too much here. So,
let's go to Nathan. You're on the air with Bruce Campbell.
Hey, Bruce.
Hey, good morning.
One of your biggest fans, and I have to say I'm sorry in advance for asking this because you've probably gotten this question 20 million times.
But you're going to ask it again.
I have to.
Okay.
Is there or was there ever any truth to the rumor of a Ash versus Freddy versus Jason?
Yes, there was. We were approached by New Line Cinema because they did Jason versus Freddy.
Right. Ash, by the way, is the character he played in the Evil Dead 1 and 2 and Army of Darkness.
Yes. So what happened is they thought it'd be great fun to have Ash versus Jason versus Freddy.
Fun.
But what we found is that if you really think of it, it's an absurd situation. You've got 3 characters in 3 different worlds with 3 different rules, 3 different sets of laws. Who kills who? How does he get... I'm not going to be in it if I'm going to get killed.
Right.
I'm only going to be in it if I can kick both of their butts and walk away the only victor. So you got to get that on paper first. You're splitting the profits. It's a dead end. So we said no.
But it was talked about.
It was actually discussed for about 5 minutes.
Because I enjoyed the Freddy versus Jason.
We did too, but we just thought that creatively it was a dead end, and then now you're saying that Ash has done these things separately apart from the series. How do you bring him back in to be the idiot in the original series? So we didn't want that heavy burden.
Before we say goodbye, Bruce, we do this with our more fun guests. We play a little thing called What's Bruce Carrying? And don't take it out yet. And by it, I mean money.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Yeah.
And we're all going to take a guess on what Bruce Campbell would be carrying.
Your cash. The amount of cash.
The amount of cash I have in my pocket.
Don't take it out yet.
I won't take it out. No.
All right, so Frankie, what do you think?
Bruce is a no rhyme, no reason kind of guy, so I just am ambivalently going to say $183.
I don't know what no rhyme and no reason had to do with anything, but okay, no, what now?
183, but
83.
Yep.
Okay.
183.
Mark?
He's not traveling. He's a local fella. I'm going 50.
$50?
Yeah, I don't think he's wacky.
I think he likes the mad money. I like just in case. Like if you had a bad time with us, he'd need to get taxi.
Right.
So I'm going over $300.
Oof.
Yeah.
Now a warning, I am traveling. I live in Oregon.
Oh, that's right. Oh, geez.
What part of Oregon?
I'll give you a second chance to revise
Okay,
that.
then I got to revise that because he is traveling. I was thinking he was L.A.
But I could be lame. Maybe I haven't been to the ATM yet today.
Because there's one at the airport.
$51.
$51.
Because he's traveling.
And
51, 183, 300 plus?
300 plus.
Previous down there. Okay.
Now, do I have to count it out?
Yeah.
Can I have the echo on?
Yeah, sure. Here you go.
20, 40, 60, 80, 100. Sorry.
I'm out.
100, 120, 140, 160, 180, 200. I think
you're out.
I think you're out, Frank. 200, 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 94. So that's 294. We got to get over 3 plus 50. You win! Thank you. You are the man with the screaming brain.
And this is the cool part. I get half of that because I won.
Yeah, great.
Every guest does
Man,
it.
that's a good deal.
All right, well, Bruce, listen, got to tell you how much fun this was. We're both fans, and for you to come in and answer the questions because you have a cult following, as you know. How crazy are the book signings going to be tonight and tomorrow? It's going to be pretty crazy, right?
They'll be okay. They might have some people showing up, but, you know, my fans just look scary. You'll get, you'll get a guy who's got a mohawk and he's every orifice is pierced and he's tattooed like the I don't know who's the guy with all the tattoos anyway. But they'll be too shy to say hello.
Oh, so they won't say anything, they just stare.
Yeah, I'll go, hey, how you doing? So that's my life.
The book is out, Make Love the Bruce Campbell Way. Tonight, a book signing at Borders in L.A. on Westwood Boulevard. That's at 6 p.m. Tomorrow night, 6 p.m. at Dark Delicacies in Burbank on Burbank Boulevard. And for those of you that are fans of Bruce's films, tonight, a special treat at the Crest Theater, a special screening of Man with the Screaming Brain. Make sure you call ahead to make sure there's tickets before you head down.
Next time you have something to talk about, even if you don't, you're always welcome here, Bruce.
Thank you very much. Can I end with one last Man with a Screaming Brain?
Yes, you...
Man with the Screaming Brain. It sounds good to say it like that. Can I have that all the time?
Bruce wants more echo.
Thank you, Bruce.
All right, gentlemen.
We'll be right back right after this on the Mark and Brian radio program, 95.5 KLOS.